All right, so we have been talking about slope and y-intercept. We know how to find those from the equation. If we put it into slope-intercept form.
We'll stop.
Oh,
No, they will not.
I mean, I have a seating chart ready to go if we need
We'll
it.
stop, I promise.
We have looked at graphs and picked out the slope and y-intercept from the graph itself. So the next step, we want to graph these things. I gave you a ruler so we can draw straight lines. They're not for hitting the person next to you or twirling through the air or anything like that. When we go to graph these, the first thing, it has to be written in slope-intercept form. What is slope-intercept form? Right, that's what we were using last week. Y equals mx plus b. The first thing we will do is graph the y-intercept, the b value. That's where it hits the y-axis. Then we use our slope to count rides over run. We have to have 2 points at least, and then you can use your ruler to connect them and make your line. So let's look at this. We need to know the slope and y-intercept. We start at the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is
5.
5. So that means you hit the y-axis at positive 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a point on my graph.
Yes, sir.
What is my slope?
-1.
If it's just a whole number, you can always write it as a fraction by putting it over 1. So that means you go down 1, right 1. Or you could do up and left, either way. So once you have those 2 points, you use your ruler and draw your line between them.
I was trying to finish. I found it. Oh, I got 2 copies.
I can't smile. Can't be happy.
I'm like that.
So remember with slope, it's rise over run, so the negative tells me from my y-intercept, we went down, and then over positive 1, so moving in the positive direction to the right. Look at this one. Y equals negative 3x minus 1. What is the slope?
-1.
The y-intercept is negative 1. So that's where we start our graph, is at negative 1 on the y-axis.
How come it was 5 on
The b, the thing you're adding to it. I think I just flipped.
Oh, you did flip it. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. So our y-intercept, where we cross the y-axis, is the negative 1. Then from that point, what is our slope? Negative 3 over 1. Okay, make sure you're with me in understanding this. The negatives are what are causing a lot of problems in here. So the negative, you could think down 3 and then over positive 1, so over right 1. What's a good way to check at the end? If your slope was negative, your line should be
Negative.
right, negative slope, decreasing as we go from left to right. Also, I want you to make sure lines keep going forever, so please put the arrows on both ends of your lines to show that they keep going. I don't just want like a little bitty line segment that looks like it hasn't. Okay, we extend it, it keeps going. All right, number 3. What is the y-intercept?
2.
So we hit the y-axis, the vertical axis, at positive 2. What is my slope?
205.
So that means from my y-intercept, we go up 2 and to the right 5. Because they're both opposite. Then you're using your ruler to draw a straight line. Arrows on the ends. Alright, why don't you guys take a few minutes and try some. Number 5 gave a few people some trouble. So number 4, the y-intercept is 3. So we know we start our graph at positive 3. Slope negative 1/4. So a couple ways you could think of it. You could think of it as a negative 1 and a positive 4, so down 1 and to the right 4. Did anyone think as positive 1 and negative 4?
Yep.
Up 1 and backwards 4? Either way, you get the same line. So this one, the y-intercept is 6, so we start at 6. The slope is 2, or 2 over 1. So we kind of run into an issue. You try to go up 2 and over 1, but there's no more room on the graph. But remember, isn't a negative divided by a negative also positive? So we could say, all right, I could go down 2 and backwards 1. And when I look at this, that's still an increasing line, so that line still has a positive slope. All right, this one, y-intercept, negative 5. Slope, negative 3 over 2. So do you really have room to go down 3? No, but you could go up 3 and backwards 2. And since you have rulers, your line should look much straighter than mine. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk about the last 3 on the page, and that's where we're going to stop today. These look a little bit different. What is number 7 missing?
Y.
The y-intercept. I don't have the plus b. What is it if there's nothing added to it? So we start at, the y-intercept is 0. Slope is negative 4, or you think negative 4 over 1, so go down 4 over 1. All right. How are 8 and 9 different? Right. So you can flip it around. You guys paying attention to me back there?
I'm good and Jaden's good.
He's been commenting on us.
Okay. So slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. If we want the slope first, we need the x term first. So that would be a 5x minus 3. So you can flip it around. The 3 was negative, that's why it's a minus. So y-intercept, negative 3. Slope is 5, so up 5. Think of it as a 5 over 1. So up 5 over 1. And make sure you're hitting those arrows.
I got the problem right, so I don't know. You told us to. And I can't very high. Well, that's y'all.
Okay, last one. How would I rewrite this problem first?
Put the x first.
So it would be a negative 6/5 x plus 1. So y-intercept is positive 1. Start there. From that point, negative 6 over 5. So down 6. Oh, let me put a point there. Over 5. All right. What's wrong? Okay, checking. All right. So, any questions over this?
No.
All right. I am going to give you your homework. Listen carefully. I want you guys to pay close attention to positives and negatives. That's what's causing our problems right now. I gave you a ruler for a reason. I want straight lines. So use that to draw your lines. And what do I want on the ends?
Arrows.
Arrows.
Air my